So here we are, guys. We're on Big Brother season 24. We're on episode 3. All right. Last time we had Daniel putting Terence and Michael on the block, and now it's for them to play for Veto and see who can save themselves. All right. So right away, I would say Michael right away knew what was going on with Daniel. So he immediately went to the HOH room and tried to make it seem like no hard feelings. He's still willing to work with him, but he really wants to get rid of it. And Daniel is also aware of it. They're both super fans. They're aware of what's going on. While they're playing the fake game, they're plotting at each other at the same time. So it's very exciting stuff just to see. And Terence, he has no idea what the hell is going on, but Daniel did pull him aside and let him know that he is actually just a pawn in the game, and he's not really targeting him. Then we have the alliance of Paloma and Alyssa. I believe her name is Alyssa. They're both on the backstage sort of punishment thing. This is Alyssa right here. And they formed a final two. They're one of the two final two so far, which one being Daniel and the former cop, personal chef, and Alyssa and Paloma. So far, two final twos. And Paloma started the all girls alliance. Well, not all girls, except for the former cop, and Taylor. Those two are not in the all girls alliance. So they're kind of just there. So that is it so far. And the girls are happy because there's two guys up for eviction because they want a guy to go home. They kind of want to protect each other at the moment. Taylor, in her social brilliance, decided to get out all of her outfits, all her sparkly outfits, and go and wear it around the house and put on a fashion show for people, and which didn't win her any favors. And right away, Paloma called it, and she's like, she's never seen someone with such low social awareness. She definitely is not very socially aware. She's just in her own world, just walking around thinking that somehow she thinks that as long as she's making people smile, they somehow have a good impression of her. No, people just see you as someone that needs attention, and they're just showing that positivity to you to sort of like kind of like coaxing a child and giving them what they want for the moment, just sort of entertain them. And it's just such a silly thing to do. I don't think she's aware of the game she's playing. There she is, walking around the house, sparkly outfit. Just what are you doing? And everyone's just looking at her like a goddamn, you know what I mean? Like entertainment. Like, this is ridiculous. This is not the game that you're playing. This is not a party where you're just like you're competing in a competition with people that you have to get on their good side. You don't. And you can't be on everyone's good side. And if you look like you're trying to get on everyone's good side, you get on no one's good side because no one can trust you. I just don't understand what she's doing. I expected her to be this ridiculous, but I'm still shocked that she's doing it. And then Michael decided that he's going to get some people together and see who is going to be willing to use the veto on him. All of the people that he chose to speak to in order to see if they'll use the veto on him are people that he would be able to beat in the competition. It didn't make any sense to me that he would do that, but that's what he did. Funnily enough, all the people that he chose to speak to also ended up in the competition anyways, which is crazy. I finally learned that nondescript lady's name because she's actually a very good competitor. Her name is Amera. There she is. Michael spoke to her, but of course, everyone that he spoke to was not very, they're just like, oh, we'll see what happens. None of them really want to like get any blood on their hands and try to save him and possibly put their game at risk for someone they don't really know. And Michael has not been speaking game with them, and now he's asking them for a favor off the bat. It's not a good idea. I don't understand why he chose those people to speak with. I don't know. Maybe he has some kind of psychic ability and he knew who was going to be playing. But that's how it goes. All right. So comes time to pick people for the veto competition. Oh, hold on. Did I miss it? Oh, damn it. So, oh, hold on. It's almost there. Okay. Ah, damn it. There we go. No. Let's just, all right, there we go. All right, so these are the folks that are going to be playing in the veto competition. We have, damn it, I forgot his name. Is it Luther or something? All right, so this guy, then we have Michael, then we have Daniel, then we have Terence, we got Amera over here, and I can't remember her name. It's like Lindy or something like that. Lindy, something like that. All right, so these are 2, 4, 6. These are the 6 people that are going to be playing in the power of veto. See what the veto competition is going to be. It's a jousting competition where, image of it. All right, so it's a jousting competition, and they're going to be on horses, and they're going to be carrying this floppy lance right here, which means it's not very stable. So it's going to be just kind of just laying limp a little bit, and they have to put it through the rings as the horse is going by. They have to put it through the rings and collect as many rings as possible. All right, and the person with the most rings, they go like 3 rounds, and the person with the most rings after 3 rounds wins. All right, so it's going to be 3 rounds, 6 people, and 2 people at a time are going to be going. So it's going to be was that 3? No, yeah, 3 rounds for each person, and then the final 2 is going to go against each other. I think. Am I doing that math right? Maybe I'm not. Anyways, so that is how it's going to go. All right, the first ones to go against each other was Lindy and Luther, whatever that hippie guy name is. He was completely trash. He's waving the lance around. Instead of, as soon as you put the lance through a ring, the lance is going to lean down from the weight of the ring. Oh, her name is Indy. Oops. Yeah, her name is Indy. All right. As soon as you put the lance through a ring, the lance is going to lean. All right. So I'll show you an image of it. As you can see right there, the lance is going to lean forward from the weight of the ring. So what you have to do is prop it up and get it to slide all the way to the bottom before you get to the next ring. But this idiot just tries to do it. You see, it just falls right out. It's just too stupid. So he gets dusted by Indy. Oh, his name is Turner. Okay, so he gets dusted by Indy. So he lost the first round. All right. So she wins the first round. Next round is going to be Terence versus Amera. And freaking Amera, oh my God, she's a monster in this competition. She was freaking just killing it. I don't know how she was that good. I think she was the only person to get like the most points out of this competition. Most people get 2 or 3 points. I think there was a point where she got 12 freaking points in one go, just freaking like killing it, man. She's definitely a good competitor. And so she won against Terence. Terence is eliminated. So the one still in is Indy and Amera so far. Next, we got what is his name? Daniel versus Michael in this competition. And Michael actually have an advantage because he's so tall. His reach is better, and he's able to get to the rings before the horse even gets there. So he has plenty of time to like get the ring and sort of hip up the lance and get the ring to slide down before he gets to the other one. So that's a huge advantage in this game. And but Daniel was no slouch in this competition either. I think he lost by like 2 points. It was like the final score was like 7-9. So yeah, so Michael actually won that. So then that leaves 3 people left. So the next competition is going to be Indy versus Amera. And of course, you already know Amera is pretty good. So she beats Indy, and then it becomes Amera versus Michael. And they tied for a while. I think the first one, they got 4 each. Then the second one, they got 3 each. And then like 5 or 6 or something like that. They kept tying, and then they had to go to sudden death. And Michael won by 1 point. All right, so Michael won the power of veto, and he's on the block, which is good for him. And I'm actually pretty excited that he actually did win. I'm looking forward to see what kind of game he can actually play. He's not going to be a good social player. We already see how badly he flubbed the game. He's not going to be a good social player, but he is the antithesis of Daniel. Because Daniel is a very good social player, whereas Michael is not. But they're both very intelligent players, and they're against each other. So I'm looking forward to how it's going to go. And Amera, big surprise right off the bat, freaking amazing competitor. Well done to her. All right. I want to see what else she can do. A social game seems to be a little bit laid back at the moment. She's in that All Girls Alliance, but she hasn't made any other moves. So we'll see how that works out for her. So there we go with that. Then we have the girls. They seem to be nervous about the guys talking to each other and possibly forming an alliance, which is weird because that's what they're doing. They're nervous about the guys doing something that they're actually doing. They plan to get rid of the guys before the guys even saw them as anything. And the guys are not even really working together that closely. They're just in the room together, they're talking to each other, and they have more to relate to, but they're not really working together. So then Taylor walks into the room, and of course they let loose the fact that they're nervous about the guys, and Taylor is just sort of playing along, and finally Paloma asked her, do you have any intel? You've been talking to the guys? And she's like, no, I don't have any intel. She's in her head, she's thinking it's too early in this game to be dividing based on gender right away. So she doesn't really want to play their game, which is a bad move because the girls have numbers against you, and you could have used those numbers to your own advantage. Not a good move to make. Even if you don't agree with what they're doing, you kind of have to agree and play along. But she didn't do that because she's in her own world and she doesn't realize what kind of game she's playing. She's acting like she's still in the outside world instead of in a game where everyone is kind of going against each other. You're not friends. That's what she decided to do. So she goes to, goddamn, what is his name? I know it starts with an M. Monty, right. She goes to Monty and she tells him about the girls wanting to get rid of one of the guys. The girls are working together and they're trying to get rid of one of the guys. Monty right away didn't believe it. So because when he came into the house, he came in at the same time with Paloma. So he thought he was working together with her and he had a good relationship with her. So he goes to her and he tells her what's happening, and Paloma puts on an act and she starts lying and she starts making stuff up and she starts like basically crying and kind of breaking down. And she got the guys to actually believe her. And This dude, oh my God, this idiot right here, training to be a lawyer, he sees her overacting and he's like looking at her and he's like, I don't believe that anyone, that if they were lying, they would be that emotional. And he's like, she seems very distraught that someone would even say that about her. So I believe her. So right away, these two dumbasses believe Paloma and believe that she's not coming for them. And I'm just flabbergasted by their idiocy. And I just want them to go. I can't tolerate idiots. It just the stupidity to believe her. She was overacting. This chick is the most fake person in the house. Like she has a better social game than I thought, but she's not believable in any shape or form. She went in full on panic mode and started rambling off stuff. And they believed her. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. And then she goes to the rest of the girls and she tells them this concocted story. She's saying to them that Taylor is lying on her and telling the guys that she wants to put up two strong guys, which is not what Taylor said. Taylor said that Paloma and the rest of the girls were in the room and they were worried about the guys talking to each other, which is true, which is what happened. Taylor told the truth, but Paloma switched it into saying that Taylor told a lie on her, saying that she wants to get the two strong guys up on the block, which is a lie. So she told a lie and blamed it on someone else, saying they lied on her. And a lot of the girls kind of believed it, and she kind of turned the whole house against Taylor. And one of the main ones leading the charge was freaking dumbass Monty. The main ones want to get rid of Taylor because he thinks she's lying to him. I've never seen a bigger idiot in my life. He even at one point says that I would love to work with her because we're both Black and it would be great to sort of work with her. And I don't want, and I want to show a good image of Black people and that we can work together and not be against each other. But I can't work with her if she's lying to me. And it's just like, this fucking dumb. He even at one point says, why would you tell a lie like that? It's on camera. He's like, he's so invested in the fact that he thinks she's lying. He's going above and beyond to call her a liar. This fucking dude, man. I can't believe it. The only one that didn't fall for the bullshit crocodile tears of Paloma, see Paloma right here doing the little tears, is the former cop right there. She's just observing. She's not saying anything. She doesn't believe any of it. She doesn't believe any of it. But she doesn't want to question anything because the whole house is kind of against her, against Taylor, and she doesn't have any alliances to Taylor. So she doesn't say anything about it. And you can see here with Monty, just like there's footage there. Why would you lie to me? You look at him. He's so invested in this. My God, these guys are 100% a disappointment. I can't even believe they even got on the show. Just dumb as rocks. I mean, I get it. Taylor is not the best in social situations. She's not very aware of what's going on around her, but she's not. Just the fact that she's not socially aware means she's more apt to be brutally honest and not a very good liar. But hey, that's just how it goes. The whole house turned against her. Daniel kind of let slip that people are saying her name to go up on the block. And instead of, you know what I mean, sort of talking to Daniel and trying to flip the vote from against her, she goes into the bathroom and cries. She cries. She didn't talk to people. She didn't try to find out what's going on. She just cried. Just sat there, just cried. And in the end, she ended up being the replacement nominee after Michael took himself off the block. And yeah, so now it's Terence and Taylor on the block. I'm disappointed with how it turns out. I think Taylor is bad at this game, but I kind of like her because she's honest. And I think she can, after this setback, she can really pull something out and really play the game. Because this will be a wake up call for her. So I'm excited to see how it goes. But she can possibly go home. But there's a possible twist where I think America is voting to save one of the people in the backstage passes, which is one of the girls. And so maybe that might save her. One of those girls could go home and that could possibly save her. So we'll see how it turns out. Until next time.